Well. How's it going out there today, boys and girls? Once again, this is JPC with J&J Outlaw Sports. I'm going to try to get on here just about every day now to try to get you guys through the withdrawals that's known as being without football, specifically college football. Now, we may dabble in the NFL every once in a while, but mostly it's college football and college basketball around here. So today I was thinking to myself, there's a big stink coming from the west, down on the bayou, down in the swamps of Louisiana. And there's been a lot of cover ups going on, a lot of shadiness with Les Miles and Darius Guys and whatnot. And I want to expound on that and maybe try to warn the LSU fans before this stuff gets any deeper, because there's still some elements there that could cause LSU some issues in the future. One particular element has always been around the shadiness that I speak of. But before I get to that, I would like to ask you guys and gals to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Subscriptions are most important, as always, as I like to tell everybody. And it keeps me in the good graces of YouTube, and it don't take but 5 seconds to hit that little bell. And it's all free. So just hit that subscribe button at me and holler at me later on in the comment section. Now let's get right to it. Ed Orgeron. A lot of people will say, wait a minute now, JPC. Ed hasn't been implicated in any of this. Now, Ed's good for a soundbite or two, and he says some funny stuff. He's got a pretty unique voice, so to speak. More like Farmer Fran of the Waterboy, right? Now, Ed, if you'll remember, was out at USC when all the crap was going on with Pete Carroll and Reggie Bush and Reggie Bush's family getting a house and all that stuff. Just blatant stuff that actually got USC stripped of their national title, which I don't think any other universities had the distinction and the dishonor of having their title stripped in college football, but USC. So they still hold that distinction because of that. Ed Orgeron was in amongst all that mess. Then he went to Ole Miss, ended up being the head coach there, and a lot of mess got started down there at Ole Miss. Now, there was some stuff going on before he got there, but once again, Ed Orgeron just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, it seems. So he's at Ole Miss, and he leaves Ole Miss because he's not a very good head coach at the time. And Ole Miss promptly gets put on probation after Ed leaves. So that's 2 programs that Ed was at where there was some shadiness. Now, I'm not going to go back all the way through Ed Orgeron's coaching career and find all the shadiness. But those 2 in particular, 2 big name schools that Ed has had some kind of connection to some not so nice things. So now you got LSU. And you're like, well, how is Ed Orgeron connected to this? Ed Orgeron was brought in by Les Miles. Les Miles hired Ed Orgeron. Ed Orgeron was there when Les Miles was there. So you can't tell me that Ed Orgeron, or Eddie Ogre as I like to call him, you cannot tell me Eddie Ogre did not know any of that stuff that was going on. There's no way in hell that he could not have known. It's just like the whole Joe Paterno thing in Sandusky. They were too close and knew each other too well not to know what was going on. And that's why Joe Pa's legacy is tainted forever. And the same thing should be with Ed. Everybody's forgetting about Ed Orgeron. Like I said, he comes across as a good old boy most of the time in interviews, but he's just that cute flavor of the month. It's just like with Les Miles, that eating that grass and all that crazy shit. It was pretty funny and cute until Les lost Alabama 8 years in a row. Then it wasn't so cute anymore. His little quirky comments and during interviews where they're asking him a question, he just goes off left field and starts talking about frogs eating Cheerios and all sorts of crazy, stupid shit. So what I want to tell you LSU fans out there is this. I know that y'all want to buy Holtz to to Ed because he won y'all national championship. But I'm going to tell you this. Ed Orgeron was not really responsible for that national championship. Joe Brady and Joe Burrow both coming in for the short time they were there just happened to be a perfect storm at the perfect time for Ed. Any coach could have coached that team to a national championship just about. Even a coach like, say, I don't know, Gene Chizik. Sound familiar? Ed Orgeron won a national championship, so did Gene Chizik. They won it with generational type players. Gene Chizik had Cam Newton. Gene Chizik won a national championship with Cam Newton. Cam Newton leaves. They have an average year the year after, and then the bottom just falls out 2 years later, because Gene Chizik's not really a good coach. He just happened to be around when a once in a lifetime generational type player or players and coaches were around. Now that Joe Brady is gone, they sink back to like under 500. I mean, what did LSU finish last year? What, 5-6 or something like that? You don't go from being national champion to being 5-6. Now, this ain't the NFL. You get to keep players, and I'm just telling you guys. I'm telling you, it's coming. Ed Orgeron is going to get LSU in some serious trouble. Their basketball program's already in serious trouble. And I know some good LSU people out there that really don't deserve this. And even them, they don't want to come to the conclusion that Ed Orgeron might be responsible for some of this. But, like I said, there's no way in hell that he didn't know about what was going on down there. Ed Orgeron's been around too many shady situations. If it hadn't happened at USC and Ole Miss before, I wouldn't be saying nothing, to be honest with you. But in my opinion, because of just the obvious of how he followed up a national championship with 5-6, y'all bring Joe Brady back. I think he might be a good head coach one day somewhere. LSU could be that university that gives Joe Brady his first head coaching job. But I'm telling y'all now, just because he lucked into that job to begin with, because when we got rid of Les, they thought they were getting Jimbo Fisher. So this wasn't something that they had planned to begin with. Y'all need to get rid of Ed Orgeron so LSU can recover and heal from all the crazy stuff and all the shadiness that's going on down there. Ed Orgeron needs to go, in my opinion. And that's all I got to say about that. You guys and gals, leave your comments in the comment section if you disagree or you agree. And like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams.